Hey everybody, today I wanted to take you through how we clean up the front wall of the variable hex lattice tech bag. As you can see, we've got our 3D printed part and it is suspended on some nylon mesh here. Generally when we make these, it prints about 1 millimeter up off of the bed, and then we'll pause it and we'll stretch the fabric over the first part of the print with some magnets, and then keep running the printer. It's important to run the printer slowly when you first reapproach the fabric layer, because it can snag, and you want to give it time to bond through the mesh so that it joins to the back side of the plastic. But if you do it right, you get this nice suspended, flexible, printed piece. So what happens after that? Well, it's important you get a nice sharp X-Acto knife, and then I'm going to stretch the fabric as I cut, and that way as it's cut, it shrinks its way back in towards the mesh. Ideally, we wouldn't really have any leftover fabric sticking out of the side of the plastic, but there's only so much we can do about that. So, yeah, I'm just going to carefully go over the edge of the part, keep trimming, make sure that the X-Acto's up against the wall. Generally with X-Actos, most of the time you want to be pulling as you cut. You'll get a much straighter cut. None of this holding it like a sword. Hold it like a stylus. Nice, straight, pull back cuts. This is called Power Mesh, by the way. We get it from a store called Blue Moon Fabrics, which has an excellent selection of these things. We really like this metallic sheen. I don't know if you can see it there, but it's purple on one side and it has this like nice metallic glossiness to it on the other side. And I find that it's a really nice color match for this Nebula Purple PLA, which is, I think, my favorite filament color, if I had to pick. Okay, so we're left with this bag. This is beautiful lattice work. Lately we've been showing the bags a lot, you know, in their made state, and they're cool and everything, but one of the things I've really wanted to show people are the really, like, how beautiful these things actually are up close. Maybe you can't see that too well. Yeah, there's a lot of detail that went into the material selection and the slicer settings and everything. So this print was pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the ironing. A couple little gaps here. When we first started doing this, we were really focused on trying to make like perfect prints every single time. And it started to come off as, I guess, inauthentic to the maker experience, in that, you know, part of making a good product or, you know, item is going through the process of the flaws. And sometimes, if you're lucky, those flaws can turn out to be, you can discover things that you didn't know would be there. So, okay, so what happens now? When this thing prints, there are several pauses that I've programmed into this to drop in. We use M4s, so the metric 4 bolts, and in order to affix those to the bag, there has to be a nut somewhere on the side. So one of the really awesome things about printing, which I would encourage you all to try, is to pause the print and then drop metal or plastic hardware inside of your parts, because it's additive manufacturing. You have this opportunity to blend pieces into the print as it's going, which is really awesome. This one has a bunch of nuts. Each one of these holes, which I'm about to clear, is there, but also there's a TPU reinforcement tab on the corners here too. When I first started designing this thing, it felt a little, I don't know, it's really cool looking, but ultimately a little bit delicate. So there are many things that we did to deal with that. The finished bags, you'll notice, I'll get into this later, but there's a TPU liner inside of these things. So it's really, really cut resistant. Like, you can stab this with a knife. It probably won't go through or that far into it. All right. Without that TPU liner, you're left with basically just mesh and plastic. All right, so, yeah, but anyways, this has TPU reinforcements in the corner. There's a nice little flex spot in the middle. And so we've got this fabric in between us and the hardware that we're going to need to access. So we take our handy soldering iron. Excuse me, dummy. For those of you that don't know, this is dummy 13. Never try to craft without them. They're very important. You want to make sure to burn yourself at least once or twice with these things every time you use them. It's, you know, good for character. Anyway, so we're just going to take this and lightly tap out all of the fabric. This is a synthetic fabric, so it just melts, no problem. Cool. See the holes here? They're not exposed. Yeah, cool. There's one thing left to do, and as you can see here, as I trimmed it, I did my best to get near the edge with this knife, but there's still a little bit left. So I'm going to take my soldering iron, and I'm just going to melt them down. Now, the full bag build has not just a wall of TPU, but also a retainer system built around. They're two separate parts, but the retainer was to encapsulate the edge of the bag and at the same time give a frame to hold the reinforced wall. We'll get into that on another video. This part is so satisfying. Nice image. I didn't totally burn myself with this thing this time, but I assure you I will at a later but close date. Okay, great. So make sure you turn the soldering iron off. Very important. And what you're left with is this nice, clean, trimmed, beautiful, hexagonal flexible fabric. Neat, right? I don't know if I can do it on this video, but I would really like to show you all up close the details on the color. I just think it's so cool. And the idea that I've been printing for a long time, and to be able to print onto fabric and lift the part up and have it be flexible still kind of blows my mind, even though I've done it thousands of times now. Custom textiles are, it blows my mind how open-ended that actually is. I don't think we've really seen a lot of people fully utilize it to its greatest extent yet, but it's a very interesting new technique. Anyways, there's the front of the bag. Have a great day.